All right, here we are, Ermac with the mask.
With the mask.
Yeah.
The mask was pretty praised.
Yeah,
people
yeah.
like the mask.
And he has some of his gear is some of the coolest.
It's gnarly.
Yeah.
There's a helmet that I have been wearing exclusively, which I will not talk anything more about. His movement's awesome.
I love the like weird marionette way he walks back and forwards. I think our design team and our animators have really nailed the kind of spooky mummy man,
on his
undead
knees
guy. Yeah.
For his cool throw. We got the bravado throw, and then just crumples
Very
you.
painful.
Yeah, so let's talk about Ermac. One of his main strings that people are really going to enjoy. One of my favorites, kind of old school. One of those strings that ends in a grab at the end.
Very reminiscent of like the Ultimate MK3 kind of lift, except he throws him over, but that kind of hand gesture reminds me of it, which is a cool.
And probably easier to do.
Yeah.
And if you want to, you don't have to do the ending, and it's a knockdown.
But why wouldn't you lift?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
it's
too
cool.
cool. Like
Yeah.
boom.
Do you lift, bro? Remember that?
This is one of his main strings too that I love using. 2-1-2. It's pop up.
Yep.
It immediately goes into pop, and you can combo after that if you want to. Just super cool. Like one of those moves people really enjoy because it takes a lot of the onus off of you. It's a pop up combo. You get way up in the air and you can do stuff.
And I think you'll see that he has a lot of really cool air combos and air enders and stuff like that.
He has some of the most air moves in the game, I would say.
That's because he's Ermac.
Oh, there we are.
Love it.
This move, he kicks you and then
Just a burst of souls.
and it, for a string does a good amount of damage. This can be canceled out with some stuff that we will show later, so we're going to hold off on that a little bit.
You're working up to it.
We're going to work up to it. His Torch 4 is really neat. This is this knee. And then Torch 4-3, it knocks them away. This is another move that, on the outset, looks just like a kind of a jumping knee.
Right.
A lot more is going to come from that later. We will get back to that as well.
Yeah, you'll notice he's airborne, which
Yes.
we'll talk about.
Keep that in mind. Yes, it knocks them into the air, and it knocks them into the air. And what you're stating, Ermac's
He
in
is
the air.
airborne, yes.
Yes. 4-2-2 is an overhead. So, like we said earlier, there's not a lot of overhead lows with Ermac. This is one thing you kind of throw out and fish, and knock them down, knock them away, or just throw the overhead out and cancel into a special.
It's also worth considering, while he may not have the best lows, the cameo systems means
Absolutely.
there are characters like Kung Lao and Frost that have good lows.
Absolutely. But this is a great one to start out there. Has a good amount of
distance,
range.
yeah.
Good amount of range. Back to 4 is a cool sort of just trapping bounce. And it can be special canceled as well. If you want to. That's the full move. It knocks you fully away. And then you can do like a lift off. And more stuff too, obviously. But that's just where you are there. This move is a ton of fun. This is just his back 3. It's kind of like a get the heck off me move. Just sends you full back. A specter comes out and knocks you backwards. Gives you a little distance when you need it.
Right.
It seems like he does do a lot of things to get distance as well.
He does, and he has a couple things that can get him back in range as well. Let's talk about some special moves. As we've seen earlier, we got the classic lift.
Yep, that big skeletal witch lady.
Now you can also meter burn that to trap them.
Ooh.
And do air combos or whatever you want to do after that, which is super cool. A lot of fun. A lot of stuff you can do with that. He's got his push.
Yep.
And has a good amount of range. That's
That's
the
my
kind of
guy.
thing.
That was my guy.
That's your guy. It's one of those good things when you play Ermac where you can always sort of like checking people who are trying to move in on you.
Exactly.
And they have to be really safe because there's a good amount of distance there. When you use meter on that, it is also armor.
Which is a great armor move. You can use that to beat projectiles, long-range normals. You could like whiff punish with it.
Right. And that's full. I just did pretty much max distance right there, and that's
You got some good range.
Got some good range.
Got some good range.
Of course, the teleport.
Right.
This teleport is very interesting. So see, I'm starting on the ground. I teleport. I end on the ground.
You're just on the ground there.
I can also go up. So I can go on the ground or the air.
Do it again now, what?
So I can go up, or I can do it from the air. You go up. You can do it to the air, and go back down.
Wow.
So like any up, down, you can mix and match that.
Mind blown right now.
One thing that's fun to do too is you can actually kind of go up here with it, and you're right in their face.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people might do something to you. A lot of people won't. So that's a lot of fun too.
It's also going to be a thing that's really going to add to their mental stack when you have multiple options coming up. They're going to have to look for the teleport and then also guess how you're going to teleport back in.
Right. Big thing. Down back 2 is this. Oh, that's not that.
Oh.
Did it wrong.
Oh.
Hover.
Okay.
So hover does quite a few things. You're hovering. You can cancel it early, that sort of thing. If you meter burn it, it's quicker.
Nope.
And we'll explain that in a second. So remember that knee we talked about?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about that knee.
So you can cancel
Very cool.
into knee with teleport, with levitate. So you can continue pressure. So I can do that. Maybe I come down and I throw. Lots of things you can do with that. So if he's in the air, he can do his levitate, which opens up a lot of things. Like this string I showed earlier.
He's really going to come up with some crazy stuff.
Very cool.
Missed it. Hold on, sorry. So I can levitate out of it.
Okay, Lanny.
Right.
Nice.
Into a full combo.
You got it in less than 3 tries.
Right.
And you're just
really
a
good
normal
about it.
person.
I am just a normal human being. And hover's super cool. So it's just you always. You know,
I love that kind of UMK3
Pose, yeah.
pose. It's
once you start putting this pressure on, like where does it go, right? And that's gonna be really fun for a lot of people to play with. I've really enjoyed it.
So sometimes when I'm like alone in my apartment, I do that pose, and that's not weird, right?
That's
Everyone
not
does that, right?
Absolutely normal.
Okay.
Let's talk about some new stuff to Mortal Kombat 1's Ermac. First off, there's this move called Death's Embrace,
Okay.
where he comes out, a spirit touches him, and he gets this sort of shield on him.
Right.
While that is active, and it lasts 5-6 seconds, there it went away, your health bar is now your meter. So you are getting meter taken off instead of health. Right?
So a very clear scenario would be you're about to lose.
Right.
You have only 1 hit left,
But you got full meter.
but you got 3 bars.
You know, let's say you're way ahead and the time's running out. Turn it on. They're chipping away at your meter
Right.
while your health bar is safe. The cool thing about this too is you can turn it off whenever you want to. So if someone's doing a combo to you, you can take half that combo, turn it off. Like there's a lot of different like mind games you can play with it, some fun stuff that way.
Also, the little demon lady looks really cool.
She does. Another move that's new is Spirit Punch. So he has this punch where he charges it up and lets out just a torrent of these spirits. Now it has a bunch of levels. You can do it just real quick, just knock them away. Hold it down, gives you a crumple state,
Ooh.
and then it's time. You know?
Right.
Okay.
Now here's the other thing. This move can be canceled out. So you can turn it on, I can back out, turn it on, back forward. You can put it in a move. You can do it during a combo and do it. I'm sorry to say not great at that, but you can continue pressure like we were talking about earlier. Super cool move. Another move he has that's new is this Shrieking Souls move, where he slides on the ground and knocks you up. This also can be canceled. So once you hit, you can double dash forward and continue a combo. So I can be like
Okay.
Very
like
cool.
that,
You got it.
and so that it just always like constant pressure with Ermac. You're continuing moving forward, pressuring them, teleporting around. Just like you talked about earlier, I love the term when you use mental stack.
Yes.
There's so much, just like a lot of our characters, there's so much stuff you have to think about while you're fighting him that could happen at any time.
It also seems like a reoccurring thing here is combo options, possibility, routes. Very cool.
One of my favorite moves he has is this. He's got, this
Oh.
is his only quote-unquote projectile. As you can see, it runs across the ground. You can only do it in the air. If you use meter, it costs 2 bars of meter. But you can also do this, and it'll send out these hands.
That's so
which
cool
will start a
looking.
combo. Now, this, again, will go back to the knee. The thing that's sort of been the thesis of the story is you can do it from knee, which means if you want to use the bars, you know, into the round, you can literally come in, do that.
Very cool.
That's Ermac in a nutshell. Lots of cool stuff he can do. Players who've played him before will get a lot of the same feeling, but there's a depth to him with these cancels, with these air shenanigans, we'll call them, that you can do.
It hardly seems like a fair fight that he always these ghost helpers.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't seem fair.
Right, like it's Mortal Kombat, and ghosts are inherently, they've left this mortal coil.
They sure have. And yeah, he's got plenty of health.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I guess they're all part of him, so it's fair.
He is many.
It is him.
Yeah.
It is him still the same. We should definitely show his Fatal Blow.
Fatal Blow.
Because it is a projectile.
What?
Yeah, so let's do this.